What is happening, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. So today we're going to be talking about the story behind my most viewed abandoned video and how it's become the most viewed abandoned video on YouTube. Now, before this explore, me and a few friends, we were actually exploring some pretty decent locations, but it was always a dream of ours to find like an abandoned mansion with everything left behind, but we just couldn't find it. But one morning, after I had a few too many to drink and I actually had a hangover, I had a message from one of my friends saying that he's found a location on the internet which is a mansion with everything left behind. But I actually messaged him back and I was like, I can't do it today, I'm hungover, I'm just gonna stay in bed. But he come round anyway and we ended up going to this location, and thank God I actually got out of bed. Now, it took us about an hour to drive to the location, and apart from the photographs that we saw online, we didn't really know too much about the location, and we was a little bit hesitant to enter because the place was overlooked by so many houses. But we built up our courage and we managed to get into the front garden, which was pretty big. And as we walked up the front garden, you could see the mansion in the distance, and I just couldn't believe how unique this place looked. It honestly looked like something from a movie. Now, apart from the house, the first thing that we noticed were there were 4 abandoned cars on the driveway, and that was the first thing that we went to investigate. Now, I don't really know much about cars, but all I do know is one of the cars in the garage was actually a Lada from Ukraine and Russia, and I actually got to see quite a few of these when I went over to Chernobyl, which was quite interesting. Now, once we finished looking at the cars, we tried to find a way into the mansion, and we soon realised that the part of the house that was actually collapsing was the way in. And we all looked at each other and we thought, this is going to be a pretty dangerous explore. But once we actually did get inside, I think one of the first rooms that we saw was like a kitchen area, and the floor was completely fallen through. Now, a funny story about this explorer is before we actually went, I brought myself a brand new camera. It was a Sony point and shoot. It is very cheap, and I put it on charge the night before. But as soon as we got to the location, I switched the camera on and noticed I had very low battery. So I tried to film this as quickly as I could. Hence why a lot of the shots that you see are very shaky. I wanted to get the whole house in before the battery actually died. Now, this was another funny moment from the explore. We knew this house was going up for auction in like a week's time, but what we didn't think was going to happen was people were going to turn up to actually view the house. So we had to be very quiet at this moment so the people in the garden didn't hear us inside and maybe phone the police.
There's people coming round, like taking photographs, so we're kind of being quiet this minute.
Now, at this point, we realised that this mansion was actually split into 3 sections. Now, at first, we couldn't actually find a way into the middle part of the mansion, so we decided to go to the other end and check that out next. Now, the first room that we come to in this section was the kitchen. Now, as you can see, the floor and the rest of the room is in a very bad way, so we had to tread very carefully, as this is probably one of the worst rooms in the whole of the mansion. Now, once we got to the other side of the kitchen, we were actually standing in the main hallway of this section of the mansion, and as you can see, there are 2 rooms on either side and a bedroom further on down in the corridor. Now, it was at this point we started to realise who used to live here before the place went abandoned, as there was photographs left around and there was also a letter addressed to the previous owner on one of the tables. Once we finished exploring the second part of the mansion, we was actually going to call it a day and head home, as we couldn't find a way into the middle part. But we thought we'd give it one more try, and luckily we managed to find a way in. Thank God we did, because this is where the explore become even more amazing. So another funny story from this explore was, as soon as we managed to get to the top of this staircase, we heard voices from downstairs, and they actually shouted up, "Hello? Who's in there?" And we all went silent because we thought at this point it may have been the police. But then I shouted down the stairs, "We're here just to view the house, we're thinking of buying it." Which they replied with, "We're just here to take photographs, we're urban explorers." So then we come clean and we told them we was here for exactly the same reason. And we met them and they were really nice people, and we started sharing stories about other explorers that we did. Now the room you can see now is one of the best rooms I've ever seen inside an abandoned building. I mean, everything was just left perfectly, and the bed itself was even made. I don't think I will ever find a room in this good condition inside an abandoned building, especially in the UK today. Once we had finished exploring the middle section of this mansion, it was time to go home. As much as we didn't want to leave this amazing place, it was getting late and we didn't want to risk getting caught. And as we started walking back to the car, I think it started to sink in just what we had witnessed inside that mansion and how amazing the place was. And still to this day, I have never explored such an amazing place. Now, as soon as I got home, I started getting all the footage from my camera and putting it onto my laptop, and I started editing the Explore. Now, it took about 2 hours to fully edit, which isn't long at all. I think I was just so excited to get the video done. Now, I didn't publish it until the next day. Now, the next day we was travelling up to London to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Abby. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And as soon as we got to the hotel, that is when I published the video to YouTube. Now, the first day of uploading, the video got 729 views, which was absolutely amazing because at the time I only had 200 subscribers. So to get such a high number of views in the first day was incredible. Now, on the second day, we had 1,715 views in one day, which was again absolutely amazing. Then the day after that, we had about the same amount of views as the day before, 1,862. Now, it wasn't until a couple weeks after uploading I saw the biggest jump in views that I'd ever seen on my channel. March the 1st, 2017, we hit 17,000 views on the video, which was absolutely incredible. And I can remember sitting there and watching the live analytics and seeing how many of you guys were watching it every minute. And I've got to admit, I started to get a bit addicted. Now, it wasn't until a couple of weeks after uploading the video where I saw the biggest jump in views on the video. It was Sunday, March the 19th, 2017, and we had 416,000 views. And every day since then, we was getting thousands of views until around August time when the video started to slow down. Now, as you can see, the video stands at 17.7 million views, which makes it the most viewed urban exploring video on YouTube, which is absolutely incredible. And I never thought in a million years I would make a video that was viewed by so many people. Now the reason you guys have clicked on this video is because you want to know how much YouTube have paid me for all of these views. And you've got to realise that this was over a 3-year period. Now as you can see, my estimated revenue for this video over 3 years was $25,534, which works out at £20,423. Now that also works out at a monthly payment of £537. Now I'm not going to lie, the first year was absolutely amazing. I managed to give up my full-time job and go into YouTube full-time. Now all the money that I earned went straight back into YouTube, but funding trips, like camera equipment. But then after a year, obviously the video started to slow down. I had to look for a full-time job again, as I wasn't earning as much as I was in the first year. So yeah, there you have it. That is how much I have earned from a 17 million viewed video over 3 years. So yeah, I think I'm going to end the video at that. I've told you guys how much I've earned. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to watch the full explore, I've left a link in the description. And also there should be a card pop up in the right hand corner about now. Now I hope you guys did enjoy the little backstory to my most viewed video on YouTube. And also I hope you guys are keeping safe with everything that is going on in the world at the moment. Now I usually end my videos with carry on exploring, you beautiful people, but I do not advise anybody to leave their house unless you're going out for essentials. So yeah guys, until next time, peace.